there's one place to vent. Welcome to our parents' basement. Let's dive in.
That's my thought.
So my question,
that I'm
that
grateful for.
you tipped on a good point I wanted to ask. So there's the whole premise of be better than your parents.
Yeah.
And you stated that you grew up in a way that was like, ugh.
But that was mainly like my dad and the Christian upbringing.
Right, yeah. But
Yeah.
that's my question. So I have a belief that, I've stated at some points, and Hannah's seen it, that when I'm parenting, I'm going, oh my God, I'm being my dad right now. When the goal,
everyone is gonna always have that.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
but the goal is you take from what you looked at your parents, their parenting,
You take the
and you
positive.
improve.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like sometimes there's parents that improve too hard, that they become the thing they were trying to improve on?
I feel like
I would call it an overcorrection.
Yes.
Not like
I feel
improve
like-
too
because
hard.
I feel like when we even look at it and go, we don't want to be our parents. At the same time, you have to think they probably thought the same thing.
Exactly, they
It
did.
keeps going,
Yeah.
going. I don't want to be like my parents did. I don't want the same life I had.
Just like those insurance commercials.
And so you have to then take it. So then
They're
I
like,
feel like,
There's extra parking over here.
Yeah.
so I feel
You
like
gave me the wrong
you
car.
can take you can take, and that's why I said, even if you didn't have the best childhood, you can take the bits and pieces and use that as your focus
Yeah,
for your own children.
because like my
Like
thing,
you already know what not to do, but don't do it so well that you go overboard. So instead, take the better parts
well, and that's like,
and then make that.
Well, that's what he got with his mom. Like
Well-
his mom, fantastic mom. Will not knock her. She's great. But her mom was very dismissive and shitty because, like, her and I have talked about it. My mom was the
Yeah.
same way. My mom just didn't really. My mom was not meant to be a mom as much as she might have wanted to be one. And for me, the biggest relief was when my mom died. Like, as cruel as that can sound, I thank her for bringing me into this world, but there was a lot of trauma that I went through that I should have never had to
'Cause
go
of her,
through at
yeah.
the age that I did. But with his mom, she became an over nurturer.
Yeah.
So she shielded them to the point that, like, he couldn't even watch certain scary movies.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't watch
could
a
be-
scary movie
yeah,
until he was like
You can be
17.
too sheltered.
well,
yeah,
that's the thing.
And
like,
that's what happened with him.
the way I grew up, like, yeah, did I have a pretty good life as a kid? Yeah, but it came with, which luckily being the person that I am today, I can look back and instead of just being like, I had a great life, it was, I actually can take it as anecdotes and reflect on it and improve upon it. Where like, yeah, was I raised in a pretty rich styled life? Yeah. But with that, my dad was gone 2 weeks at a time in a different state or country. I never had my dad really growing up until I was
I didn't have my mom.
around 15 when my dad finally had his own company and was at home. I didn't really have a father figure. I grew up with my mom. So I didn't have, like you said, the dad, or no, you, the father figure to teach you to be the man of the house.
Right.
I became the man of the house when I was
He
15.
became the asshole of the house.
No, there was a, yes, but there was a point in time where I had to become the man of the house because my dad looked at me and he goes, I've got to work to make and give you kids what I can to have you have all of these things. But that takes me working 60 hours a week, gone entirely. And it's not like I'm going to come home and fall asleep next to your mom. I'm going to be in a hotel by myself across the states. He's like, you've got to do this. And it took a while for me to finally make that click, probably a little late. But the benefit that I have now is now I understand, rather than looking at it a different way, I took the right route and going, that's something I'm not going to do. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm appreciative of my dad. I got so many great things out of it. I mean, there wasn't really anything that we asked for we didn't get. I was spoiled. But the one thing, if I could trade it, I would have traded the four-wheelers and, going on vacations and everything if my dad would have been home more.
Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, the things were fantastic. They were. But having my dad there, I feel like would have changed everything. And he figured that out. I mean, it took a while, but he was like, I'm gone too much. I've got to stay home. I mean, because he was going to New York twice a month. Oh, no, it was once a month for 2 weeks straight. And then he'd come home for 4 days and then go back out again. And like I said, I would go for months where I
I think
wouldn't see
that's
my
what
dad.
makes it a lot harder too now. Like, like it used to be, you could have like the one parent household. The man went out and worked and the mom was home with the kids.
Right.
And nowadays it's like both parents have to go out and work.
Well, that's because of the economy and society right now. It doesn't permit that at all.
Like, that still puts more of a strain even on the kids because kids don't understand you got to go out and work or none of this is going to be able to happen.
Yeah, well,
And
but
now it's like
They
that
think just
both,
mom and dad doesn't have time for me.
yeah.
well, that
and then
falls
both
back on the
parents have
thing
to go
of
out and work and you have to figure out who can be here, who can't.
that falls back on the whole safety
Yes.
thing too, because it used to be, hey, dad's gonna go out for work for a little bit. You're 12. You're good for.
Yeah,
Mom's gotta run to the grocery store. Can you stay home?
all the time?
Or hey, I'm gonna call Misty next door and have her check in on you at a certain
You
time.
can't do that no more. You
Well,
don't want to
no.
leave a kid in the house for long periods of time.
We had my mom. We knew if we came home and she wasn't home, she had already left a note. We had her homework done, laid out so she could see it. Food was already made. We were not to answer the phone, not to answer the door.
Unless you saw mom's
We
calling.
weren't supposed to. We weren't even supposed to look out the door. If somebody came and knocked, you were supposed to be silent. No one was supposed to know you were in the house by yourself. And then she might have somebody that had a key that would come and check on us, unless we knew it. If we knew it was her, if she called, we had to wait for the answer machine, and then she would say, "It's me. Pick up the phone." You were not allowed to answer the phone. She would call, and we had to wait for the answer machine. We get our homework done. We ate our dinner, had everything ready, took our baths, everything. Well, so when she got home, we were already in the bed.
Yeah.
And if we didn't get to see her that night, so it's like, but now you go to do that, somebody's ready to call somebody on you because
Yeah.
you're doing so much, but you're like, both of us have to go to work.
Well, that's like our thing.
We don't have money for childcare.
We work at the same job at the same shift, and we're about to have a baby. The only blessing we have is
I'm going to take the baby.
and amazing friends that would obviously help. But it's a worry for me because the goal was by this time is I was going to make Hannah a stay-at-home mom, as I had avenues that didn't really work out, still working on. But it's a scare for me because, like I said, I was raised. The man worked. My mom stopped working when I was born. The day I was born, my mom stayed at home and glued rocks on cards for a geologist to pay for diapers. I bring it up every time.
I was waiting on the rocks on the cards.
But it was to do that while my dad worked at Bank One to be able to raise enough money. Then he got promoted to be working at Chase, and she didn't have to do anything anymore. So for my whole life, my mom never worked until she got bored and started working with my dad. But at that point, both parents worked from home. So they worked from home all the time.
Yeah, she sat on her couch on her little MacBook Air.
She still does. Right now, it's a little harder. But
Must be nice.
But yup. And she's ordering Panera and having Panera delivered for lunch.
I don't know if I have a skewed look on life. That's always been my goal. Is the wife's going to stay at home, but she's going to cook, take care of the kids, and I'm going to go work.
But that was our goal. But my goal was also to have enough money.
Oh, yeah.
She could go out and do whatever she wanted.
Now, see, at the same time, that wasn't a goal that I had because I wasn't raised like that. I was raised with the mom that went out and worked and did everything. And I was raised with the view that you had to take care of it all because ain't no man going to do it for you.
So her view's kind of similar.
We got together, it was like we met at work, so it was like we're both working. I was not able to then kind of give up that control to let him do it because it was like, no, I got to do it like independent woman. I got to do it not knowing how a relationship works, and being comfortable with giving him a little bit of that because it's like, no, I got to be doing it. I'm supposed to be doing this. I didn't have that view of like the woman stay home because she wasn't home.
That's kind of how we met.
My dad instilled that in me. Granted, from my dad's perspective, it wasn't because, he was working 2-3 jobs to provide for me. It was, he worked a full-time job, and I believe he's told me before when he found out that my mom was pregnant, it was like $5.35 an hour, working 40 hours a week to take care of me. My dad's little gift to me a week was a pink dress. Every week when he got paid, one of the first things he did outside of pay bills was he would go get me a little pink dress. But my dad always instilled in me that I am a strong, independent woman. I don't need a man. Men ain't shit. And a man is never going to do for me what I can do for myself. So I'm going to go out and do it because a man's not going to do it better than me anyway.
Well, and that took a long time because when we met, it was I had already been through
Lazy
many
motherfucker.
relationships. Well, that's what a lot of people would see, but I had been through so many relationships where the woman didn't work, but it's not because we had a kid. It's not because we were married, because she just wanted to use my money and took me for my value of I'll do whatever I need to be as the man of the house.
You've had a couple busted cannabis.
I have, but I'm the guy who works on the cars, fixes the house, mows the grass, does the work, fixes all the things that need fixed, and still goes to work. But the women I was with just sat on their ass.
Right.
And that's where I had the
That's
problem.
funny.
But the benefit with Hannah was when we met, I was so burnt out. I was like,
He was
she's a
sitting on his
manager.
ass.
She's a manager at Bob Evans. I'm like, hey, you want to stay home? She goes, nope, I got to go to work. And I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, I make like $200 a day moving boxes. Like, I'm good. I got it. And she's like, no, we're good. And then COVID hit. She still went to work because they did online orders and I didn't have a job. And so I was like, this is weird. I don't know how
You
to
look
feel
like
about this.
someone that doesn't have a job.
Fuck
It's
you.
the tattoos, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the
But
he's a real life doodle bear.
it was weird
Yeah.
because
He's a nice guy. Yeah,
He's
he's
a-
great, but he's got a spider
Fuck
tattoo
you.
on his neck.
we went through a
Yes, stupid
transition.
doodle.
Will you shut up and let me tell the story? We went through a transition where she finally realized she didn't have to be the breadwinner of the house. It can be mutual. And to the point where we finally started working together and made money at the same level, the same time, to the point she's like, oh, I mean, he can actually make the money in the house. But right now it's nice because we don't have kids or dogs or anything that need outside attention that would take away from work, that we could both just work. But she now understands that, when the time comes, I could just be the person who makes the money and she's at home. Granted, she probably is stubborn sometimes and doesn't understand she doesn't have to work, take care of herself, because you've been instilled that
I
you've
think I
got to
just
work.
I had all these like strong females, like my mom, my aunts, my sister, like everybody they do it all, and then they were single moms, so they were having to do it all. So it's like, stop distracting me. So
Yeah, I'll
it's
touch you,
like,
Kurt. It's fine.
I felt,
No.
so that
Pineapple.
was kind of my take on it, was like, as the woman was getting ability to handle it because they're not dependable, so for me, it was kind of hard to release that power a little
Mhm.
bit. But now I feel like I'm learning to let go and like it's okay to rely on somebody else.
I still struggle with that so bad.
It's hard. It's like it's hard to feel like you can rely on somebody because you're so worried like it's not gonna work, something's gonna go wrong, and then it's
Or
all
like it's not gonna get done if you don't do it. 'Cause,
No,
like,
yeah. if
how
you
long do
even
you think
still-
that-
it isn't, yeah.
even still now, like I'll ask him, hey, can you do the dishes? He got about 45 minutes before I just get up and do it my
Well,
damn
I just
self.
woke up. Well, like for you guys, because you've been married, what are you at now?
It's gonna be 12 years.
12
next
years?
month.
Oh, we're
How-
literally at their halfway point.
How long do you think it took you to feel like you could release that power? Because she's still struggling with it, and
Well,
we've been 6 years together.
May I say something though? So,
No.
No,
oh, there goes my
the women
spot.
are here.
But
How could-
thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
Did you shower today?
No.
Yes, I did actually.
When?
Well, my hair looks like this.
It does look lustrous.
Yeah, you notice it's not blonde right now.
Give it tomorrow.
He
Yeah.
got the little one thing.
Yeah, but working all the time when we first moved out here, I had a job where I was working 12 or 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, and a lot of the stress was that we never did anything together. We never went out. We never went anywhere. I like to take my wife out on dates, but I wasn't doing that enough. I wasn't going out and doing things with her.
Take no
and-
pride.
Yeah.
I'm
but
waiting for her to bring up one thing. That's all.
but
Not the things that you want to do.
but
That's not what I'm saying.
as far as like there were times where I felt underappreciated because I felt like I'm working all the time. And sometimes I would, come home and she might be irritated, whatever, because I'm gone all the time or whatever. And I would just be like, don't you appreciate the fact that I'm working? Like I'm providing, that you don't have to worry about anything. And it's just like, yeah, but you can spend, it was the old saying, spend too much time trying to make a living and not living. And after the pandemic, it was down to 40 hours a week, sometimes 30 hours a week. and I was doing DoorDash or I started working at Target, it was also the time when we finally had it was just us. Her mom wasn't living with us anymore, and we had to rely on each other. It was then when I started to notice that, oh, she does so much more than I understand.
Because
And
when you're at work, you're
you
not
know,
thinking about all the things that have to be done at
Right.
home.
when I walk in the house, if the like even recently, like I come in the kitchen and I'm like, oh, I go to grab a dish and there is some. Like I would be used to, if she was working and I was working, or if there was a lot of stress going on, sometimes certain things got neglected. And instead of being like, oh, why doesn't my wife do this? I'd be like, well, I can wash the dishes. That's not hard for me to do. Or I could do a load of laundry. Her back hurts. I can bring the laundry upstairs.
Right.
There's compromises and stuff like that that aren't necessarily making me feel like I'm less of a man or whatever for her being able to do things or for me being able to do
And
things.
depression can be very crippling when
Yeah.
you're trying to deal with it on your own.
Yeah.
And if he's just at work and I'm just at home dealing with everything and everything in my head and everything outwardly, and then not being able to
There's
express
no
that.
escape.
Yeah, it's just, and then not being able to express that to him. So then there ends up being that break in communication because he doesn't really know what's going on and I'm not able to tell him,
Mhm.
so that it's like, at that point, it's like, well, what can he do? Because he has to be at work, but I need him,
Right.
and I
Well,
don't
him and
have
I
a way
went
of
through
being able
that.
to do that. So that's kind of one of those things that has helped in the recent years of being able to give that little bit of control to be able to rely on him more is being able to, if I'm not okay, being able to say that, even if he can't help me at the moment, just being able to say, I'm not okay right now has helped me
Mhm.
in that way of like, I don't have to be in control of everything because that's all it's like. You have to be in control of everything or it doesn't work. And so in being able to have that communication, that's what's helping me to be able to rely on him more
Yeah.
and be able to be okay with doing that.
And for a long time, it was also like, if I have problems, I just don't think about them. And so, you know, for a very long time, if there was issues about, money or anything like that, I would just keep it to myself just because it's like if I tell her, she'll worry. And then that's something that I have to worry about, making sure that she's not overly concerned. Especially when I first told her I was diagnosed with unipolar depression. Initially I felt like, oh, she's always asking me, am I okay? And I don't want her to do that.
Oh yeah, she's the only person that did that.
What? Well, what it's different
I
than
had a problem with it too.
it's different with the spouse. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, now it's like I feel more comfortable talking about what I'm concerned about and what my thoughts are. But I feel like we can sit down and talk about it. And there's times when there's things that she does not want to talk about at all. And that sucks. But now we're at this great point now where we can sit down and just talk about anything. And it's really awesome.
And sometimes even with
Sometimes it
those
leads to
things,
sex.
Which is a bonus.
sometimes with those things, like when I would repeatedly ask him, like, are you okay? Are you okay? Sometimes those things aren't for you.
Mhm.
It's
It's
not,
reassurance for you.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
reassurance for me.
And
because
think about that.
and it has to, and now it's like, in knowing what his diagnosis is, then I can go, okay, now I know to read the signs because otherwise I would take everything personally. I was taking his actions or the way he was acting as if I did something wrong, which would then make me depressed because I felt like I did something and I didn't. So then in me saying, are you okay? Even if he says, I'm not, but it doesn't have anything to do with you, then at least I can go, okay, so he's dealing with something, but it's not something that I did. So it's like, so I can just be there in that support that he needs, but I don't need to necessarily do anything.
Right,
It's
Grandpa?
something that he has to work through.
You don't have to fix it all.
I don't have to
Right.
fix it because that's all I want to do is I'm like, okay, if he's
Mrs.
not,
Fix It.
I have to fix it. But it's like, he can just be like,
That's
no,
me.
but I'll let you know when I'm ready to talk about it or whatever. And then I
He's
can let
that
go.
in a suffocating aspect. Like, I love him and I love that he wants to help and he is so generous and is so caring of everyone around him. He is very emotionally conscious.
Mhm.
That does not mean he's emotionally intelligent, but he is very emotionally conscious of those around him. So like
Thanks for
almost
that.
like you could read auras in a way where
Uh-huh.
like people who read auras, you know, they can see when this person is like blue, so they're very sad.
I
They're
call
not-
it when people aren't smiling. I have no reason to smile.
But he's very heavy in that. So like
Mhm.
when Kurt was going through a depression, he always felt like he had to do something to fix it. And
Yeah.
I know it's annoying. I'm well aware
Yeah.
it's annoying.
Yeah. I
But
appreciate it. But
right, like,
fuck off.
I appreciate it and I love how caring he is. But there's moments that I don't want to have certain conversations, or like he might just have me at a 10 where I'm ready to just off him.
That's why I do my circus
And
acts.
then but like I can't articulate that because I'm just so
You're just
angry.
over at the point.
And he doesn't understand that. And he'll just, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Babe, come on, let's talk.
I'm
What's
like
wrong?
that. I can already
What's
tell,
wrong?
like,
What's wrong? What's wrong?
if he walks in, if I can tell by his stance,
Oh yeah,
I can tell by his whole thing
the
that
way he
something is
sits,
going on.
everything.
And he's looking at me going, nothing. And I'm like,
There's something.
but I know it is. So now he's like, you're going to make it something. But there was something already there. And
There wasn't, 'cause
I'm just trying to, so I'm just trying to get it.
Let me see it.
He's like, no, it's nothing. But it might have been. It may have been that I noticed it before he noticed it. You know, he could
That's-
have been cycling and I saw it first.
That's what he doesn't realize is like sometimes I just need a minute to figure out how I'm feeling and digest what it is I'm feeling.
Yeah.
See, for me though,
Before-
I need to have
I
verbal
don't care what validation you need.
I need verbal confirmation. Like I don't think anything's wrong right now. Okay.
No, because you won't
wanna
take.
know and
no.
you want to fix it because that's what I would want to do.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah, that's what I would want to do.
Fix
I
it.
would
Right,
want
sit
to
next to it.
fix whatever it was.
Right. And like,
So now
I
it's
do
a
that
struggle for me.
100%.
It is that same
'Cause, like,
struggle.
You missed what he just said.
what?
He said nothing's wrong, and like, what do you do? Text her when she's sitting right next to you?
Yes.
100%. That's what
Yes.
I'm saying.
100%. Like there's moments where like I've literally looked at him and I'm just like, leave me alone and let me disassociate.
And then it's this, and I go,
Yeah.
Like, and I've told
Huh.
him because, you know, when you're raised by a man, my dad is not a touchy-feely, lovey-dovey type of guy.
Mm.
Up until I was like 6 or 7, I
Yeah.
probably hugged my dad every day. Since then, couldn't tell you. I hug my dad every so often. But that's
I've
about
never seen you hug your dad.
like my dad is expressionate in other ways. Like he tells me he's proud of me all the time. Like when I told him I was pregnant, he said that I deserve it more than anybody in the world, that I'm going to be such a great mom. Like my dad he shows love differently.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it's very like building you up and making you
Yes.
confident.
And my dad loves intelligent conversation. Like physical touch is not my dad's love language.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God.
Even
right?
though it's my stepmom's, it drives him absolutely batty that he has to be physically touching her all the time. But that's what love is for her. Like, and he's the same way. He has to physically touch me all the time.
Yeah.
I want to throat punch him. Like, I love you, but you're in my space.
Yeah.
My titties,
I feel like you
my
tried to
titties are already
caress her
suffocating
shoulder
me
at
enough.
least
I
50
don't need you
times.
doing it too.
Yeah.
Exactly how it is.
But like, and him and I, granted, we still have moments where we don't communicate in some of the same ways. Like
Recently, though, we've been able to read each other a lot.
we
better now.
we have gotten better in like I want to say the last 3 years, and specifically probably more so the last 2. Because I can tell you in the last 2, there's probably been plenty of times we both thought about divorcing each other because of some of the hardships we went through. But at the same point in time, it's made me appreciate him that much more. Because, you know, he makes jokes all the time, divorce is a lot of paper. I don't give a shit. I will-
Divorce is
I
a
will-
lot of
I will
paper.
cut down the whole tree.
I told her, I'm going to drag this shit out.
But
I've been through it once. I know what to do.
I know I love him. And I know that me being as strong-willed and as hard-headed as I am, I can't have your average man's man.
Mm.
I can't. Because that'll turn into physical assault and us punching each other. I already know what that's going to turn
So I
into.
should pick the special needs one.
But I also, I picked the slightly dented can that was half off.
Hey, it's still a
Oh,
good
the
can.
clearance rack.
Exactly.
$2.69 at Meijer. That's one.
It may expire in 2 days, but it's still good now.
But I also can't have somebody that I can push over because I will manipulate him and walk all over him.
Yeah.
I know what I'm capable of.
Right.
And I'm well aware of that. It took me a long time to be aware of that, but I
Also, money for you.
I don't think there's anybody that could help him. Maybe a zoo. That's probably about it. Like,
Cincinnati Zoo's needing help.
I know what I need.
Mhm.
And even though he might not be exactly what I need in anybody else's mind,
Mhm.
and even in my mind sometimes, because I doubt him.
I'm waiting for the he's good enough.
He's all right.
I think she said that.
I know. I think she did.
Like,
Kind of my thing with the boys,
because
with
like
having all the boys.
yeah, like one of the things that like I want to teach my child that him and I learned is love languages. As dumb as it sounds, knowing love languages makes such a big difference. Because like we've all had our issues. My love language is acts of service. And I think that's most women's for the most part, because we're always fixing everything. We're always doing everything. We're nurturing, taking care of the house.
But you will not submit.
Hell no. But
Just waiting
like,
for that.
I love cooking the big meals and him telling me it's good. And it's like watching his satisfaction from having like a meal in his mouth water from like it just being that good for him. It's enough for me. His is physical touch, and I want to break his fingers every day, but I still deal.
Yeah, I think that's my thing with having the boys. I feel like it's made me softer.
Oh, probably.
Like it then having to feel like I have to be the strong one. I feel like now I can sit back and be like the pampered princess. He is my backbone. I don't always have to feel like I have to fight all the battles. He's there to stand up for me.
Except the ones with Julian.
Yeah.
He steps up for those too. But I feel like that has softened me. Like I've gotten a lot. I've always been like that sensitive person, but I've always felt like I gotta handle it. And I have someone that's like, no, we got this together. You can just chill.
Like you'll skydive together. You don't gotta go alone.
And I'm
We'll
just like,
jump
okay.
together.
I'll ask her, I'm like, do you want me to handle this?
Yeah, and it takes such a
Teach
weight
him.
off of my shoulders sometimes because I'm just like over just
I feel like I always gotta handle it.
and I'm to the point where I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And he'll just be like, just let me handle it. And it's just like it's gone. Like, okay.
A couple nights ago,
Guga?
it was, and we feel bad because
I don't
I
want to hear
woke
it.
up late.
Bottom my one.
I woke up late and Julian didn't get to go to Kings Island, and I
Oh,
felt
I heard
so
about that.
bad. But because I was supposed to take him to school, but the
Accidents
night
happen.
before,
If not, I wouldn't be
she
here.
was stressed out, and probably now for good reason, hindsight. But she was just like, "This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen." And I'm like, "Okay, what does he need? Well, he needs a shirt, and he needs money, and he needs this." And I was like, "Okay, well, I can go do that. I can do this. I can do that." And then I sat her on the bed, and I took her tights and put her in the bed, put a blanket over her, and I'm like, "I got this. Don't worry about it." So I took that energy, and then I went and
Fell asleep.
fell asleep.
He relieved.
He
the
called me the
stress.
moment of it. He's like, I fucked up, man.
My book. He was in there asleep and everything. But I woke up and he wasn't there, and I thought, oh, did it? No, he was in there asleep.
I mean, he made it part of the way there.
He was trying to de-stress me, but I was going, you want to go out and drive, but you need to go earlier so that you can get back here earlier, so that you can go to sleep, so that you'll be able to get up.
He didn't even go out and drive before he fell asleep.
Like, no, because I'm going to go, and then I'll just come back in time when it's time to take him, because then he would have just stayed up. So he had these things, but I'm like, that doesn't work. You have to do it like this. And he's like, I got it. So then he makes me calm down, and then what I said comes true.
Yeah.
This is why I'm stressed.
Did you drop him with I told you so?
No.
No, she didn't.
It's
Thank God.
just-
Silently?
Well, I would have been like, "Go ahead,
Give it to me.
because at the end of the day, I'm like,
It's like-
God damn it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Some of these worries are justified. It's like,
But I will say that I'm not a morning person at all.
No, you're not.
But going out in the morning and then realizing that, holy shit, I still have a full day that I can spend time with the kids is so much better. It's a lot better.
it's
And
been great, like having this new job,
yeah,
and he's been
Oh,
just
I
taking
love
me
it.
to work because gas is ridiculous.
yeah.
So he's just been
Good.
like, I'll just take you to work. And so then he's able to go drive a little bit, and then for both of us to come home and both be there with the kids to have dinner together. And get them ready for school the next day and do all that. So then we still have that moment where we get to have the family time without one parent is gone or doing this or both parents are gone. It's like trying to then at the end of the day, all of us be able to be together, I think makes a difference to the kids. And
Right.
being able to talk to them about how the day went, prepare them for the
It
next
also
day.
shows them that we're on the same side.
Mm-hmm.
I think
That
that's
you're a
very,
unit.
yeah. I think that sometimes, it's JC, I might go, oh, mom's upset or whatever. And I'm just like, and I'm like, yeah, she's upset because of what you did. But now that I'm home, he's seeing that how she's reacting to something, and then also seeing me stand there in agreement with her and going, this is what we need to do. You need to stop doing this and blah, blah. It shows that we're on the same side. So no
That's
kid can come up to us and just be like, hey, can I get a cookie? And mom said, no, there's none of that going
Right.
on. And it used to happen.
that's where him and I need to get better when it comes to his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Because although there are things that we talk about that we are unified on, there's certain things that like either I feel he's too lenient on, or like even
I'm also
something
a
as
big
simple as like
person.
yesterday, I forewarned her before we went to the park. If X, Y, or Z happens, the moment it happens, we will leave the park and I will throw away your milkshake.
That one was convenient while
No,
we were leaving the park.
Doesn't matter. So then when we were leaving the park, she tried to run away from him, didn't want to listen to get in the car. One, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's not
because
safe.
literally, it's just not safe. Like, at
Well, she
baseline,
learned
it's
after
not
that.
safe. And so I'm going to the car. I have Jazz grab her milkshake, hide it, and then I'm like, no, tell her that, we threw it away and he's like, no, it's fine. Pick your battles. I will pick every fight and every battle to get not because I don't love her or because I want to nitpick with her.
But in that moment, she
Yeah.
needed to know that what you say
Yes.
goes.
On
Yes.
other occasions,
'Cause
the biggest
In
problem
those
I have.
moments, him and I don't necessarily
And if
look
you're not,
unified, and that's part of the problem.
Because then if she notices that you're both not consistent with whatever it is, then she's gonna manipulate you both.
Well, like today, we both separately made her run the laps,
Yeah.
and she did not like that.
Well, that's like the thing that, like I was gonna say, is the problem I have, which I don't know if it's a problem. If something happens that happens when she's watching her, say if I'm laying down because I was at work, she was off, and she's like, I'll get up with her. I'm like, okay. Something happens with her, well, she doesn't discipline, and she's like, hey, you need to handle this. She did this or you're asleep. I'm like, I wasn't there. I can't read the situation entirely. I don't feel like I can discipline because I wasn't there in entirety. I've got almost
on the situation.
right.
I
because
only
I
do
feel like I
that-
have to fake the emotion to handle it.
I only do that when I'm at my wit's end, though.
Right.
And like I've centered a timeout. I've done all the you won't do this threat, or you won't go do this. You won't do that. Like pretty much, you won't see the sunshine for the next 3 days if
Right.
you don't stop. Like
Yeah.
once I've done all of that and I've ran through it all, like Saturday, it might have been Friday or Saturday. At some point, he fell asleep. I pretty much had no voice. And I'm sitting there trying to yell at her. I don't have a voice to sit here and be yelling.
Oh, and she knew that.
And she was using that. And so he has to get up and then come be big, scary
Well,
dad.
it's fine. I meant in the moment. I meant like on the occasions
No,
where it's
I've
like
had
an hour
those.
ago.
I've had those moments where like the boys are doing stuff and I'm just at my wit's end and he's out and I've had to call him because I'm just like, I've had it. I can't deal with this no more. And there's times that he's just stopped and come home and had to deal with it, And so in some aspects, I understand, like, you can't, you're like, I wasn't there. So then you're trying to, you're not going to have the same emotions that she had
Right. Yeah.
in the moment that it was happening. But when it's something and I'm just so overwhelmed, it's more or less where I have to tell him so that he can come handle it so that I don't have to.
Right.
So it's like, he doesn't have to come bulldoze in, but it's like, hey, what is your mom telling y'all to do?
Right. And that's
And
what I
then
do.
being able to, articulate that with them
Mhm.
because she's upset you guys aren't doing what she's saying. You guys need to do it. Now, sometimes if it's getting to be too much, I'll just call him so he can hear it. So he can hear
Yes.
what's going on.
Yes.
So then when he does come in, they can't say, well, I didn't do nothing. He can say,
Yes.
yes, you did because I heard it. You know,
Mhm.
so I'll start doing that because I don't want it to be like, you know, because we talk to our
Because
kids.
it turns into almost a he said, she said
Yeah,
situation.
because
Yeah.
we do talk to them
Yes.
and we do allow them to express themselves. We've told them, you can express yourself. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
defend yourself. There's a respectful way of doing it.
In a
We can
productive
have a
way.
conversation, you know. So if you feel that I'm saying something and you feel like it's wrong or you don't understand why I'm telling you to do something, we can talk about it.
Right.
But you're not going to disrespect me.
Yes.
You know, and
Yeah.
so it gets to that point to where I have to sometimes tell, okay, don't argue with me. You know, stop talking, don't argue with me. Because they just want to go, well, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I'm telling you what you did.
Mhm.
So you need to stop and listen.
And we will also go, like, sometimes if it's like it never really gets super heated with the kids, but if they feel like they can't get their emotions under control, we will pull them aside and go, okay, we're going to give you like a 5-minute shut the fuck up pass where we're not going to say anything. You go ahead and say whatever you're feeling. And I go, okay, is there anything else?
Kid
And
looks at
then
you, just shut your mouth.
we will dissect everything and discuss it.
Yeah.
And then usually after that, they're cool and they're like, okay, I'm ready to get on with my life.
Well, that's the one thing I think
But
people
then
don't
that way-
understand. They can talk to their kids like adults.
But he doesn't. But then that way, so in that aspect,
Logically.
It depends.
so in that way, if I'm asking him to handle it, he doesn't have to have the emotion.
Yeah.
He could come through it with a new lens.
Good cop, bad cop
but
type
still
thing.
be
Yeah.
able to
very
just still
much
be
so.
able to get it across. Usually he comes out good cop because I'm the one that already went off. I already went off and I'm over it. And then he can come in and he's able to talk because now I'm past the point of talking. So
He's the little kumbaya person with the guitar.
yeah.
Everybody's just gonna get along.
Let's hold hands.
And I'm taking the 2x4
Because by the
about to
time
beat
he
you upside
comes
the
in,
noggin.
everybody's looking like, well, mom just got mad. I didn't just get mad. And I've told them, I
Yeah.
don't just get mad for no reason. Like
There's a purpose.
there was a reason that I was
There's a
upset.
build.
You know,
Well, and
so
that's-
then he comes in and he's able to talk about it, but he still tells him, like, you know, once they break it all down, his biggest thing is don't disrespect your mom.
Yeah.
That's where I get that protection. I get to be princess. Do not disrespect the queen.
Yeah.
You
Well, and
know?
that's where we're struggling in a power struggle with Ari because God love her. She's a diva. She's a girl. She's a diva.
She's a
And like,
diva.
that's fine. Like, little girls are divas. It is what it is. Little girls are also brats. It is what it is. I was one. Well, like,
Pause. Sorry.
don't make
Got
me
that
call my dad on
lightsaber over there?
but like, she doesn't respect me in the manner that she knows she's supposed to.
Mhm.
And so, like, when we go out and about, or like if I take her out myself, I have to either text him the whole time, like if she's not listening, rolling her eyes, you know, whatever it is that she's doing, I have to pretty much text him the whole time, like, hey, this is what's going on. And then, like, the first time I did it, he's like, well, why are you texting me this? I said, because if not, I'm going to lose it. I'm overstimulated already. And I'm trying to make sure that you understand where I'm coming from, because if I snap on her from here to here, I need you to understand the why. And I might need you to take over
Yeah.
because it's just,
Because what she has to learn the boundary
yes,
Mhm.
that
That's the
you
problem.
are an authority figure.
yes.
Well, and that's the problem with us being
Yeah.
so late in her life of learning is that we're still trying to establish that.
And
I
with her
think it
having
is going
people-
well, though.
With her having people come and go, kind of, sort of, I think she's scared that we're just going to leave. So she keeps trying to toe those lines. So, like, when we're
She
like,
has to establish that it's a safe space.
Yes.
So when we're like, okay, no lying, because at one point lying was a very big issue. It even as small as white lies, and we told her mom, like, we're making a big deal out of everything,
Right.
whether it's a small white lie or her saying,
Because she needs to understand the lies.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Exactly.
one of the best things about her mom, too, is that she's very...
we can communicate with her mom.
Okay,
Like,
that's what's happening. I
that
agree.
is-
I'm going to do that here, too.
a great part of the situation.
I mean, the
'cause-
laps thing, I literally told her at the car. I was like, I made her run laps. And she's like, did it work? I
And then
said,
when
I think
she
so.
saw
So I'm going
Ari-
to do that at home.
crying running the lap, she saw, okay, Ari really does not like this. Okay, she can do this at home then. And
She
with
said,
her eye
"Nice."
rolling, with her eye rolling, we have to make a big deal out of it because it's a big problem. She'll try to be nonchalant, spin around, and roll her eyes like you don't see her doing it. And I'm like,
I do that with boys all the time. I'll catch them on something and like, how did you even see that?
Eyes in the back of my
I tell
head.
them all the time, my powers.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Ari's realizing with me is like, girlie, I clock it. I see it every time you do it. It's just a matter on if I say it. And, my nieces know that. Ari's learning that because if you ask my niece Avery, she loves me to death, but she knows Hannah don't play. I remember at a birthday party, I've told him this. It sticks with me to this day because I find it absolutely hilarious. Her sister and all her friends were in a bounce house at my parents' house at one of her birthday parties. They were all bickering and arguing because the bounce house had like a little basketball thing in it, and there was a whole bunch of little inflatable balls for them to throw. Well, her sister and the friend were bickering over the ball. She's like, shh, 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 Hannah's coming. Hannah don't play. Shh, stop. Hannah don't play. If Hannah hears it, she's going to get on you. My Aunt Hannah don't play. And like, I love that. But I'm also her safe space. So like when she's having a hard time, like her and my dad, they get into screaming matches because she's a diva. And she's the oldest grandchild. So she knows she's spoiled.
Mhm.
She knows she is. God love her. And I am very much part of the problem. But they got into a screaming match, and I'm like, honey, there's a different way to articulate yourself. Like, there's a way to talk about it so Papaw can understand you and Papaw can know what it is you're trying to say. She's like, well, he's just not listening to me. And I'm like, but you got to calm down and talk to Papaw.
Mhm.
Like, Papaw's going to yell if you're yelling. I said, Papaw's not going to let you talk louder than him, girlie.
Right.
Like, he's just not going to. But you gotta meet him here so you guys can get to where you need to. Like, if you wanted 5 more minutes in the pool, there's a way to ask that instead of throwing a fit about having to get out of the pool now and just going and hiding.
One thing, because I don't even know what time it is. Oh, okay. Well, one thing, that I think is fairly recent. I did it. I don't know if I did it consciously or what. One thing I stopped doing, and this was sort of like I don't know if contention's the right word, but anytime the boys were doing something and she would just be like, "You're doing too much," or whatever, or she'd try to interject or whatever, I would get mad and go, "You're undermining what I'm trying to do. You're preventing me from getting my point across." And, I eventually, after a while, I just stopped doing that because I was like, it had to be that thing of realizing we are on the same team.
No.
So if you're saying anything or trying to add to what I'm saying, I know you're doing it because we are a team. It's
Mhm.
not just my kids, it's our kids.
Mhm.
And there were times when other people would want to maybe interfere and go, hey, you know, you did this, so I'm going to talk to you because you did something. And I would go, that conversation's already happened, so we're going to drop it. So like anytime my kids make a mistake it happens, they make mistakes, everybody makes mistakes. I deal with it in that issue. And then once we're done and we have that discussion, once they go, okay, I understand, I no longer bring it up. And that was something that once I started doing, I noticed that it was a lot better with the kids, but also like mainly with our relationships. Cause sometimes I would just be like, I would get mad and frustrated and just walk away. I'm like, okay, then you do it. You handle it. You say whatever you want to say.
And in some aspect, in most aspects, it's not a undermining. It's more of less like, I know he's too emotionally charged.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and I'm seeing their reaction to it. So then it becomes where they're no longer listening to the message.
Yeah.
They're just seeing the reaction.
Right.
So it's like a way of shutting down, because I can remember as a child, you're getting told off by your parent,
Right.
you're getting a whooping, whatever. You don't even know what it's for. At some point, you've zoned out,
Yeah.
or you don't remember because they're yelling and screaming at you for 15, 20 minutes longer
Hours.
to
Yeah,
where
for
you've
my bad.
forgotten
Yeah.
what you were in trouble for. So it's like or it gets to the point where the language that they're using to talk to you, the way that they're talking to you, you're now not even concerned with. Now it's just you're just mad. You know, if they're like, "Oh, mom's just mad," but they don't know what. Well, what is she mad
Why?
about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so if he's going and going, and I'm like, or I'm trying to kind of cut it off or get to the point. It's not to undermine what he's trying to say. It's just like I see you're losing your audience, you know, or your feelings are getting too big, so they calm down,
Mhm.
you know, so then you can get it through. Because then he has to do the same thing for me because I get to that point where I'm over it. So now
Yeah.
I'm just going off.
So I'll
See,
just
his
go up
thing
to
is
her,
always
do
your feelings
this,
are too
and
big.
I take
He's
it.
getting loud. So then Ari starts crying, and then she shuts down.
She
Because when
shuts
she
down
starts
because
crying,
she
she's
don't
not
listen.
listening.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
hearing herself sob. Whereas me, I'm the 15, 20-minute, like, come on, why, like, come on, have a conversation. Why'd you?
Well, that's
'Cause,
why I just let
you
her
know,
cry. I tell
So
her, I'm like, we'll talk when you're done
now
crying.
what I've started doing with the kids is when I feel like I'm having those just moments where it's just getting too overboard. It's going to be too much. I'm getting too overstimulated. Then I go, I need a break.
mhm.
I need a break, and I walk away. And so now they know what that means. And so I just go, I need a break, and I go walk in my room. I cry, I breathe, whatever I got to do. Most of the time, they talk it out. The kids talk it out amongst each other to figure out what I was upset about or what needed to be done. Or if I was yelling about something, they go ahead and fix it. You know, they'll do it. And then I'll try to come back out and talk, you know, or they'll come in and go, Mom, are you ready to talk now? Because I'm like, I'm to the point, I tell them all the time, I don't want to be yelling and screaming at y'all. We don't hit them,
Right.
you know? So it's like, I don't want to be yelling and screaming at y'all, but I need y'all to understand what I'm saying.
Get
You
it
know?
through your head.
And it's like, if my thing is, I tell them all the time, if I've said it once, I've said it. If I've said it twice, I've said it again. If I've said it a third time, I'm yelling now.
Mhm.
Because I'm like, if I keep repeating it, it's gonna get louder every time I keep repeating it.
Yes.
So now,
And boy, does she get loud.
yeah.
Just kidding.
And
Just
so
kidding.
then,
That's a woman thing.
once I'm yelling, now you just hear me yelling. Now because now it's to the point where you didn't hear it when I was trying to give it to you nicely. When I was, you know, telling you what I needed done.
Yeah, they're
or
hearing you,
whatever,
but they're not
you
listening
weren't
to you
hearing.
now.
You weren't here. So now we're at the yelling part. So now they're like, okay, now I got to pay attention. So then I go, okay, I need a break. So now I can calm down. So now we can come back to it and I can go, okay, so now you see why you understand what I was upset about?
Right.
And so that's been helping more because then it helps me to self regulate, but it also helps them to kind of problem solve, critical thinking to like, you know, work it out. And then we're able to, you know, work it out. And it makes them kind of talk to each other
Right.
so that they can kind of figure out, you know, well, she did kind of say that we were supposed to do it, you know. So I think that that's been helping.
Yeah.
I feel like
Never done learning.
with kids, it's always just learn no matter
Yeah.
what. Like the whole time, it's learning something new about them from the beginning, no matter how old they are. It's just,
Yeah. And unfortunately, our youngest kids are, I don't know if it's necessarily unfortunate, but it is that thing of like, I am a lot more sensitive and understanding and try to get down to their level and talk to them rather than it wasn't that way in the beginning. So I know that, you know, with Julian, I think his is like, what did I do? His reaction, I think it probably was due to the fact that I would probably go a little overboard with my speeches and, you know, this is how it's got to be. And now,
as you continue learning with each kid.
yeah,
Yeah.
now with Jeremiah, I'm just like, I'm going to need you to be quiet. And he's like, okay. Where, you know, the other boys, I would just be like, hey, shut up.
Well, like something I saw on like TikTok, and it was a night I was randomly scrolling, was siblings always have different experiences growing up. And like that's 100% true.
That's
'Cause,
very
like
true.
even with George, Tyler, my sister, and me, like our parents were very different for all of us. Whereas like
they're in different places.
my
each time.
stepmom was more, I don't want to say less involved with me because obviously she was still present and she was, you know, the woman figure I had outside of my mamaw before she passed. But my dad was my prominent figure. My dad was more prominent for Tyler, but not as prominent for George. So, like, there's certain things that, like, now I love my stepmom. She is my mom, but my dad is still my safe
Right.
space. Like, irregardless of him being my biological parent in the situation, there's ways that he's helped me understand things, talk through things. And like, I was able to come to him when I felt like her and I would never get along. Cause when I lived there, her and I were at each other's throats like cats and dogs.
I feel like with
Buddy.
each kid, you continue. It ends up being different for each kid because you're in a different place.
And
you learn
See,
different
that's why I
personalities.
adopted my
First time.
sister. So that would be my fuck up first. Cause like, she was already
So this
damaged
kid's got it
goods.
made.
Right.
Exactly. Like, my sister's already damaged goods. Both her parents are passed. Like, it's fine. I can, if I mess her up a little bit more, it's just shining it up.
This was a good one.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you everybody for watching Our Parents' Basement. Check us out on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify. And happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's
Happy
Day.
Mother's
Happy
Day.
Mother's Day.
Cheers.
Cheers. My drink.